Okay, I am going to call the meeting of the Palm Valley Parks and Recreation meeting to order. If the secretary would read the roll and see if we've got a quorum. Okay. Bill Elmer, present. Perla Galvan, not present. Hilda Lamos,
Present.
Ashley Terveen, Rita Flores,
Present.
Daisy Banda, not present. So we have a quorum, so meeting is called to order. Let us do the Pledge of Allegiance. Would somebody like to do an invocation beforehand? Mayor, you do good invocations. We'll skip over and go to the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise, place flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Okay, next item is public comments. I don't believe anybody signed up for public comments, so we will move over that. And we'll bring up the items for discussion and possible action. Oops, that's last month. Okay, first item up for discussion is, first we need to approve the two previous minutes we have here. So minutes for Thursday, December 4th. Has everybody gotten a copy of it and had a chance to read it? Anybody have any corrections or additions?
No.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes of December 4th.
Motion to approve the meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Minutes are approved. I have minutes for February 5th. Was that included in the packet here also?
Yes.
Yes. On the 5th page, I think it is, of the packet, we have the minutes for Thursday, February 5th, 2026. Everybody seen a copy of it? Has it in their packet?
Yes.
Anybody have any additions or corrections? No additions, no corrections. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
A motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes pass. Now we have on the minutes or the agenda, we have the financial report. don't have a present treasurer, I don't believe, so perhaps you could give us the financial report?
Sure. You have the graph spreadsheet that is at the back of your packet. It outlines all of the expenses from November to date, which the last expense that the board approved was the purchase of the portable power station, which was purchased on February 6, 2026 in the amount of $383.99. So you guys had an original budget of $10,000. You guys have spent $2,280.76. So
No encumbrances, no reserves.
correct.
So
Leaves you
after spending the $2,280, we have how much we have left of the budget then?
so that would be
$7,719.24.
Down here somewhere, or just do the math?
I just,
Okay, why don't you repeat that so I can write it down?
$7,719.24.
That is our remaining budget. Barring some encumbrance we don't know of. Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
motion to approve.
Report. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor of approving the financial report?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And you have another eye on the end?
Yeah.
The ayes have it, financial report passes. Okay, next is discussion and possible action for spring event planning and preparation. I had talked to the city event planner for about an hour. And they only have one thing scheduled between now and 4th of July, and that is the Easter egg roll. They are hot and cold about participating in any event that we come up with, unless it can generate some revenue like out of the kitchen or the bar, something like that. But we worked on a couple of things that might be feasible. One, we might be able to participate in the Easter egg roll and have something of our own, like a Easter bonnet competition and award, or possibly a spring parade. But she doesn't know what her board would approve, so she's taking that to them, and they're meeting about the same time as we are right now. So I'll have some feedback from the country club at tomorrow or Monday.
When is their Easter egg roll?
It's a week before Easter. Well, my voice is really dropping out. A week before Easter,
Okay,
7 days before. I don't know what the date is actually.
week before Easter.
The Saturday.
And she's going to see if they have anything else to come back to us with. And so we'll know that tomorrow or Monday.
So would it be March 28th on a Saturday or April 4th on a Saturday? Because Easter's the 5th.
Mhm.
Gonna be a week.
It's 7 days before, so probably the previous Saturday.
The 28th, March 28th.
Yeah, and we're assuming it's the Saturday of the doing.
And their board is going to approve what date, so we'll have that. But I believe it's a Saturday date. So assuming we get some positive feedback from them, even if we don't, then over the maybe next week, we need to figure out what we're going to do as a city for the spring festival. So I'll call everybody, or email them after I get back, she gets back with me either Friday or Monday. And I'll communicate to you, and then we're gonna have to put together a committee of two or three to plan whatever event we decide to approve. Anything you might have to say on that, Mayor? Or can you even hear me? You got a hand up?
Well, the only thing I'll add is that just we're getting really close on time.
Yes.
So,
But she couldn't approve or discuss anything until she had discussion with her board. So unless we want to just go out on our own and do something funded ourselves entirely, we got to wait for her board to come back to us.
I mean, that's up to you guys. I mean, I'm just, you think about an event, a citywide event, you're gonna need to do, advertising and,
Yes.
Ordering whatever we're gonna do. And, if it's a parade, you're gonna want people to be in the parade. You're gonna want people to be able to
And
sign up for the.
That's always a problem here because when we have these things like on the 4th of July, Mayor, what would you guess the turnout is on like 4th of July parade?
It's gotten less over the years.
Anywhere between 80 and 100 people.
Yeah.
There's probably more, but they come and go. There's
Yeah.
constant flow.
At any one given time, maybe 50 people.
And I know the big thing is the big kids. They have the, they call that the water slide and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
They take good advantage of that.
The country club, yeah.
So, maybe more like a Easter bonnet judging or something like that, where you're really a wild hat, whatever you want. And we could, maybe financially participate in something like putting up bouncy house slides, water slides. But,
On it. Yeah, that would be down.
okay, that's a suggestion. I'm not the creative one here. Anybody have a better idea or another idea? I can't hear you.
But I think like the dog, like the dressing up the dog, that would be cuter for the fall festival, 'cause like Halloween and stuff like that.
Um,
And it's hard to do something with have a kids parade because we don't have that many kids.
Because just a thought, if the country club does come back and say that they're open to participating with us with a city event
Or us participating
with
that.
them, us co-collaborating and them doing the Easter egg hunt, then maybe we can do like an Easter craft for the kids. Like they sell like those little kit, something Easter themed for the kids to put
That's not a
together.
bad idea.
Right,
But it isn't enough.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like the Santa event, we had Santa there, the Christmas lighting, we had Santa there, and we had a couple of goodies. I mean, so the kids being able to participate in a hunt and then having a little craft,
Okay.
and then having, you know,
when they wanted to make it lucrative for them, even if they did the craft, and if we if their kitchen would make like a cupcake that the kids could decorate or something, like if they're yeah.
Okay, now that's a good idea too.
Yeah.
I can be the judge of that one.
Maybe if either a cupcake that or if country club could make like egg-shaped cookie, decorate that.
Yeah,
like that.
same concept. But then that way that, we could, and they could charge this, I mean, the parks could pay for, whatever that, the kit would be,
Yeah.
they could charge, and we could have however many kids
Get,
there for the.
4 dozen, 6 dozen large sugar cookies, undecorated and no sprinkles.
Mhm.
And that could make a good decorative item and maybe have a couple dozen plain cook
And that could
cupcakes.
be, yeah.
Except the items,
Revenue.
to
Then that
decorate.
would have a revenue for them as well, keeping people in the country
Mhm.
club and then,
I like that.
and the craft, and then I mean, because I like the crafts too. I mean, kids used to go do the Home Depot things on Saturday every morning. And that was always a big draw. So that would be, but that wouldn't generate. But if we did the cookie and the craft, and then
We did a little photo booth thing to like second take pictures on or something with the button.
yeah,
Because what makes up, because usually their event is that they typically do setups, but I've never been to theirs. Spring, so we'll.
An Easter egg drawing as opposed to something edible we could do.
the edible just came in that way. They would be making the money off of their kitchen because that's what you had said, right? They want it to be profitable.
Yeah.
For
Some type of
them,
revenue.
some sort of revenue. So that way, if we're buying the cookie or
The
buying the
cookies,
cupcakes, then
yeah.
that way it's profitable, and that way
Well, in preparation to them coming back to us, what about we propose a craft project or cookie decorating project or cupcake demonstration decorating project and vote on it now. So if they come back and says, yes, we're interested in participating, we've got something to offer.
yeah. Oh, I don't have both. We'll do that.
I will entertain a motion.
We found it, the very hunt is getting paid.
Yeah, I don't think this is bad now as it used to be.
Yeah. Second challenge, we always work with us with, you guys use 2 golden eggs and we would buy a girls, small kid bicycle. And wherever got the golden eggs,
Okay, we
we
can
could
do
do that
that.
out of the prize, right? Face paint's always a hit. Of course, we can do the club. What are different things there? Options you can do. Of course, if we don't want to do water slide and all that other stuff, it's kind of messy with all the confetti and stuff and.
How about we could sponsor one of those dunk the mayor tanks and give it a big fight for that. No, it makes a mess of their game. It's not good.
That's a good one for the fall festival. Those
Yeah.
dunk tanks, though.
Yeah.
That's a good
Well,
one.
it's kind of chilly in the fall,
Oh, yeah,
It's
It's not too warm right now.
Yeah.
The fall festival, there's
4th of July, maybe.
Oh yeah, the 4th of July. We'll do it at the 4th.
There you go.
One of the churches in town, they sell pumpkins,
Right.
and we had a lot of people bring 700 pumpkins, and we sold 1,000 for them. And so that was
Okay.
always a big hit too. We would collect all the money for the pumpkins and we turn it back into the church and whatever was left behind, we just kind of gave away. They didn't care because they had too many at their church and. They're just kind of trying to get rid of them and whatever money we made, they were happy with it.
Could you make a note of that so for our future reference?
So, but I do like we could sponsor a couple. You could offer. I mean, you guys could.
Oh, I think the sponsored egg is an excellent idea too.
Some prize eggs and some. So that would be another thing is offering some prize
Yeah.
eggs. It's a good.
And we pay for the prizes.
You can do age group, I mean, I don't know, we want to group them all in one group or what's the cutoff age? Bigger cities, we would do,
Yeah.
between 5 and 7 and.
We usually did 3, like 0 to 5. We did and then a 6 to 10 or 6 to
Yeah.
11, and then like 12 to 17. I think we did
You got
3.
different heats, so you just
Mhm.
broke it off and then all the eggs and then.
Well, they're doing the Easter roll, the golf course itself. So we would just ask if they wanted to throw prize eggs in there with their roll, and then whoever
Exactly.
found them.
Yeah.
And then we can just say, And you guys can just decide how much you want to put for prizes in each of them. And then if they would be okay with that, and then that way the city can.
Yeah. Okay,
Mhm.
You can find somebody with an Easter bunny outfit. They did.
I know where we can get you one.
Huh?
I know where we can get you one.
The one that fits me?
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Always are Easter bunny dressed up? Or no?
I don't know if they're gonna have
You
one.
know?
I'll have to ask them that, but if they don't, we could offer them.
Yeah, just ask if
Yeah.
they won't, if they don't, if they're not gonna have one, tell them we'll find them.
Yes,
The Easter bunny costume. It's worth it.
Sometimes your school district, their, we call theater artists might have costumes like that. They have a whole bunch of.
Yeah.
stuff that they have laying around it.
there's also a, run by mail outfit I used several times at Time Warner when we had sort of programs going on. And they'll ship them in 24 hours advance. And they're really nice, fluffy, clean, well designed. They come in 4 or 5 sizes. You tell them what you want. They ship it in Pelican cases. You put it on, use it for the day. They expect you to dry clean it and then put it back in a suitcase and send it back. So if they don't have an Easter bunny, we could do a pretty good Easter bunny for them. Okay, somebody want to propose that as a motion? The pending agreement from the country club.
So maybe put it in a motion of like, yeah, how could you say it? Like a motion to,
Well, I think it has to start out with pending agreement from the country club. We would like to offer them contributions, the egg roll in the way of gold prize eggs,
mhm.
enough for 3 divisions of children. And we would also like to do a craft project where they're either decorating cookies, decorating cupcakes, or some other craft that we might come up with. And we'll provide them that, and we would cover the cost of the cookies or the cupcakes and the decorating gels or whatever we need.
Safe feeding food, yeah.
Couldn't hear you. Yeah. We can select those things in conjunction with their event coordinator, so they have input to make sure it's happy for them. Okay, we have a motion presented. Do we have somebody to?
I second.
Motion made, motion seconded, all in favor, say aye.
I.
So we're gonna put Mr. Elmer down as the motioner.
Mhm.
Well, actually, technically, I shouldn't make motions.
Okay, so who's taking the motion?
I'll take the
She
motion.
Okay.
she didn't take the motion.
Ashley's the motion and you second. Do you guys want to amend it to put up to a dollar amount so we don't have to meet again to put a dollar amount on it, so we can just start doing, so that way you guys don't have to meet again?
How about
Or like not to exceed a certain amount?
not to exceed $500?
For the whole.
For the whole thing.
For the whole thing,
For the whole
and then that
thing.
will give it.
Because we don't have any prices on what cupcakes would cost, what cookies would cost, what juice would
Yeah,
cost.
prizes. I think 500 is enough, because I'm thinking 3 prizes, and I would think 1,000.
I would think 1,000 too.
Okay,
Because if you do 3 prizes, especially if you're thinking like a bike.
we can always spend left. We don't have to
Right,
spend
right,
it
I'm
all.
saying, just to keep us from trying to have another meeting is what I'm trying
Yeah.
to,
Agreed.
okay. So,
Okay, but is,
so Ashley, you want to amend the motion to not to exceed $1,000?
would somebody like to amend the motion?
Ashley,
I just did.
And you want to second it?
I'll second it.
You want to all say aye?
I.
Motion carried.
we're ventriloquist.
And I'll get back to everybody over the weekend if I get information Friday, and if not, I'll let you
And
know.
I suggest we create an alternative plan. Let's say the golf course says, you know what, we don't want to collaborate. Do we want to do something of a similar without the golf course's involvement and try to do an event without, or are we just not gonna do
Well, we
anything?
have a problem with that mostly in that we don't have anywhere to hold an event. Except on the street.
Well, we have a little area, we do the Christmas event, and we could do, I mean, we wouldn't have to do an Easter egg hunt, but we could do the face painting and we could have, you know, we could just do the similar, you know, music, face painting, snow cones and you know, we could do a smaller version. It's we could
Okay,
do,
that's true. We could use that area.
you know, and we could do we could still do the sugar cookies. I mean, we could do the crafts. We could do it a spring. I mean, we would
Put
just
some
have to get
tables out.
creative, you know, spring fling, you know, kind of just a day out and give some people something to do for a few hours if we wanted to do.
Yeah, it's
I
a
like
beginning
that.
thing. I think that's.
We could have
Let's
somebody out there
amend
maybe
the
making
motion
with the
if
little
somebody would
balloons or,
amend the
you know,
motion.
I mean,
If the country club does not want to participate, do we do something in the double entrance area that we?
think
Yeah.
so. What date would you want to do it? That
Well, probably not the same day that they're doing theirs.
I think not. Okay, would want to let us participate. I would be kind of surprised, but I mean, I just don't want to be left with.
Well,
Yeah.
when I talked to the event coordinator, they're. I think they've got some money problems. They don't want to put any money into anything or do anything that doesn't. Help
Generate revenue.
Generate the
generate
revenue, yeah.
revenue for them.
I mean, Rita and I are members, we can go over and talk to them if you want us to.
Okay.
Well, then we're back to, they have to go back to the board, have another meeting. That's gonna be a month away, or 2 months away.
Not, I mean, they're gonna make that decision today, I mean,
Right.
but.
We can always
Or
go
we
back
can-
and try and talk to the president of the
Je-
club or whatever,
Jesse, yeah.
but as a second motion. That if we aren't able to do something with the country club, somebody write this down so they can make a motion. Does we prepare an alternative spraying program for the dual entryway? And where we can have children's activities and face painting and cupcake decorating, that sort of thing. As a first time start on having a spring fling.
I motion to do an alternative spring fling if the Harlingen Country Club does not want to participate at the entrance of the country club.
Get that recorded?
But
Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
We have a second, all in favor? Aye,
I,
opposed? Motion passes.
now are we putting a dollar amount on that one?
It would be the same dollar amount, I would assume.
Because if we're hosting it, it's gonna have to go up the dollar amount because now we're putting everything else together, so.
Yeah.
well, I think we will have to come back and meet if the country club doesn't. But so I think we'll have to be prepared to do a special meeting if we get news
Yeah,
today.
we can do that.
But so we'll just plan on doing a special planning meeting if we get word, but this way I can get that out if we can start kind of planning back burner.
And I've got some planning websites where I can go out and download a skeleton program that other small towns have done.
Okay. I will be surprised if they come back and say no, because it shouldn't cost them anything to have us helping and adding.
Right.
Right, and
To their
it,
program, and that's just what I guess you'll just need to make sure that they're clear that we're trying to add to, not take away.
yeah, I was very clear about that.
Yeah, so hopefully that, and they've just had a changing of the guard, so they're just having to.
They're just getting their feet wet.
Yeah, they're just having to go
Yeah.
through the steps, and so I'm sure it'll all work out fine, and
I think it will, but we can't say definitively until they come back and say, yeah, we'll do that. So let's table having
and then you guys will be okay with just us doing, I'll just send out some prize options and we can kind of do via email.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
that way we
Yeah.
can not make, okay. Ready?
Okay, moving on to discussion and possible action for Yard of the Quarter program. We kind of agreed in the last meeting that we were going to do that.
So I took it to the council and they thought it was a great idea. I'm really excited about it. And so it got approved unanimously. And so I think at this point, the next step is just to kind of plan the rollout and when you guys want to start it and how you guys want to have it rolled out. So if you guys want to give me any parameters on time frame and when and what, that way I can sort of execute for y'all. So,
Because we said we were gonna do it quarterly, when's the?
so this quarter ends at the end of March, so the next one would start April,
June.
for April, May, June.
I think it would be a good idea to set it for April, May, June is the first quarter we do it.
Award, like July, the first of July, third.
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't see any signs over in the storage that related to the House of the Quarters. And if there is one over there, are several over there. Everything is so covered in black mold.
No, I'll make some
I
fresh
think
signs for the
we would
award.
have to have fresh, something really attractive made of it.
Okay.
Which that would work out because we could do the award at the July 4th parade.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's the right thing.
Yeah, whenever we have an event, that would maybe be a good time to award the Yard of the Quarter.
Okay,
Does that sound reasonable to everybody?
so I'll make some of the flyers and do some of like the end artwork and we'll get all that
Okay.
created and then I'll put it out and put some kind of things there. The page, then we share everyone kind of before I can fill and we'll get a page set up on the website. For everyone to start nominating and
Yeah.
graphics if we're worth it.
And just to recap, we're gonna put it on the community to nominate and then once we have the nominations, then we'll go over it and vote.
Correct.
Yes.
So I'll probably make the deadline to, so we would meet on June. So our meeting in June would be the first Thursday in June, right?
Mhm.
That would be, right, so I would make nominations need to be. So they would be. June. So what we want to do by June 4th, so then that way they would all be in by the time you guys meet.
Yeah.
Or do you want to give them the whole month of June, because when that way you guys, if they are all in by June 4th, then I would be able to give them all to you guys at the meeting. Then you guys would, sometimes in that month, you would have to go look at the houses on
Yeah,
your own.
we kind of need to get them a week or so before the meeting so that we can actually go out and look at them.
But I don't want to cut them off too early, because then that would be
Right.
cutting them off in May, but if that way they would have, but then, because if we're not gonna award it until July, if I give you guys the nominations at
So
your.
if we do the award July 4th,
Right,
then yeah, we
so if I give you
having
guys
June
the,
4th would be a good.
they give you guys the, they have to have them by June 1st, say, give you guys the award, that way you guys have your addresses that you need to go check during
Right.
June, then we award in July.
Yeah, I like the June 1st
Yeah.
for the deadline.
Okay, all right,
And then we can pick the dates for the other quarters at our next meeting and try and coordinate them with some event in Palm Valley.
okay, all right, so then I will get those,
So let's get it approved by somebody making that motion. And a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the motion passes. Okay, the next item is discussion and possible action to make any purchases. This is going to require a little discussion because I went over and as much as I could without a more than a flashlight. Waded through what we have. And there are some good items and some bad items. For instance, the lighting of the Christmas trees has a very, very substantial 3/4 inch iron channel Christmas tree, which is great. The lighting, there's been a lot of rain that's got into the boxes. And a lot of the lighting is severely damaged. There are the welded frame decorations that make palm trees and make the various set pieces that are basically angle iron, but they are covered with light ropes that are, the ones where the light's inside a plastic tube. And that's all carefully tied with the frame so that you get the white light signs hanging in there. Those have gotten so much mold and the plastic has got so brittle that if you just touch it, it crumbles. I think the frames are in great shape, may need to be repainted black, but we have two choices. One, we can either try and buy brand new decorations, or we can pay somebody to get new tube lights and just restring the whole thing and get it back easy. You plug it in right now. There's two problems. One, the plugs have all gotten saturated with water. I don't want to plug them in. They're not even grounded. So I think we need to at least rewire those items. As far as the giant balls and the empty presents that are made up of bows and all such, some of that is in pretty rough shape. So we need to actually take a weekend, pull all that stuff out, evaluate it to see if it's still electrically functional. And all the things that are in melted cardboard boxes where it's just a foggy mess, a lot of that's got to go. But that's mostly things like string outs. There are some extraneous things like pumpkin statues and things like that can be used around Halloween time, but I don't recall us using them. And there is things like the flags that we put up before Christmas and flags we put up on the light poles before 4th of July. Those, I didn't take them all out, but some of them had water in the boxes and I poured out, so it's going to be very heavily mildewed, and I don't know that matters when you put up a light bulb. The color seems to be all right. It might be that it doesn't need anything more than taking over and washing it. But the colors are still reasonably bright. They don't seem to be torn up, so I think those items seem to be okay. Container itself, the 2x4 bottom is totally rotted out. I fell through it 3 times just walking from one end of the thing to the other. It's just been, termites have turned it into trash. It just crumbles in your hand. So I think the container itself is in pretty good condition. I think we could have somebody put a new bottom in it and it would be fine. But we need to get the roof tightened up so it doesn't leak inside. And we need to put in some shelving so everything is just piled on the floor currently. What? It's over in with the sewer plant.
Off of Bougainvillea.
Oh, Bougainvillea. It's a half container, which is from here to the wall. With big double doors, and it's probably 9 feet high and 9 or 10 feet wide. It's a perfect good container, but it has to be closed up to keep the moisture out. We might even consider something like putting in an air conditioner into the side of it so that we can keep the humidity reduced and maintain 80-degree temperature in there, keep moisture from occurring. We can get, there's two ways we can do that. Either we can talk with the city and get Chendo or a contractor to refloor that thing and water seal it. Or we can possibly just have it set on the ground with the bottom torn out of it and just pour concrete, close it up. But there are piles of possum poop that are 6-7 inches in diameter in all over the inside of it.
Everybody's.
No, no.
You say right now, you can't get too much discussion about it, all that parkland area is gonna change rapidly by the next year.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing about that container. We could
Yeah,
move it.
no, I
somewhere.
know that there might be some change that might allows different areas for storage instead of the container.
Okay,
Well, that, allow that stuff in the air and we can't get into detail, but
okay, we can
Do
table
you
that
know
if we got
what's gonna
something else.
change? I know it's gonna change.
You know about when you would have an idea to bring back to the committee?
Within the next year.
Oh, okay.
Well, and I think a lot of the ideas that we're talking are really good. I think that. Well, for one, they're way over what we have in our budget for the parks. So I think what we're gonna need to dial back a little bit and decide what we want to focus on, whether we want to focus on purchasing new decorations. Great, I think that's a great idea. We will make sure we have a place to store them. Like we have our Conex box out here that we can store some of the newer stuff in that, we wouldn't go put it out obviously in the old bin where they're not going to be taken care of. So if we want, focus on getting, I don't want to plug in anything that's been soaked in water either. I don't think, I think sometimes restringing things, you're spending good money after bad and time is money. And, we only have so many hands, but that's obviously your guys' choice. But
Well, it's a city thing and we have spent, looks like somebody, I don't remember what the name of the couple is, but somebody put several $1,000s into buying the lighting of the palms decorations. And they had them custom made and they're actually not in bad shape.
right. So those, yeah, so that I think those were the two, the gentleman, I think it was Mr. Worley's family and it was
Yeah.
I think it was Mr. Gorgeous's family. Those are the two families that did the tree. And so those, I think the tree that is having some issues and some of those decorations might the company Chendo is looking to see if we can figure out the company that they purchased those from to see if there's any sort of lifetime warranty or anything we can do with those.
Well, I did get the not serial numbers, but the model numbers, and I think the manufacturer off one of them.
Okay, yeah,
So we could probably go back to them.
yeah. Those with the trees, it's definitely worth them because of those two families did purchase those for the city as a donation, and obviously those would be worth keeping, but or worth trying to save. And some of those companies you can actually buy
Replacements.
replacements, and you can buy like rings that go around the bottom. So instead of buying new trees to make it grow bigger, you can buy
Yeah.
like rings at the bottom. So that's how towns can get the bigger trees. So instead of having to buy just a whole new tree, you can do rings at the bottom to help grow and different things. So that's what I had asked Chendo for some of that information to see, so we wouldn't have to be buying a whole new tree. We could perhaps
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I really looked closely at the tree
Mhm.
and it is in excellent condition. It's very well manufactured.
Yeah. So the tree.
All the branches are still bright green. They're not
dingy or
they're
discolored.
not dingy. They're not corroded where you touch them and the plastic crumbles. It's all in really pretty good shape.
Mhm.
But like the three-dimensional vertical signs, the tubes of lights have got so much mold grown inside them that you light them up, you wouldn't see it because it's all black.
But the cost of those now versus to have them redone, it'd probably be pretty
Right.
on price, so we might as well just look at buying
Investing in some new.
newer.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's where we just really need to decide kind of how much do you guys want to spend on Christmas decorations, versus do we want to start looking for sponsors, donations, doing a fundraiser, or doing however the parks wants to go about getting, now is the time to do it, for Christmas decorations, because they do take, especially if we're going to buy commercial grade, they do take a while to come in. So I think that's more of the focus rather than, just how we want to go about pricing them out and what you guys want to use for the budget, and sort of pricing out doing some planning as far as the events that you guys have left, how much you want to spend on each of those events, how much it's going to cost, and what you want to do. Spending the $7,719 for the next 3 events that you guys have, and how much you want to buy for decorations, and that's what I would suggest, because then we know how much donations we need to be looking for, how much. There's a lot of community members that would love to see, to be a part and to help, and then that's what we know what we need to look for. So
Yeah.
I think that's where we can find storage within the city. There's options. I'm not going to go put it back in a possum filled poop environment. We know where our weaknesses are, and I'm not going to go. We're rectifying those as quickly as we can. But if we buy new stuff, obviously we're not going to go put it in something like that. So
I think it would be a good idea to kind of get an estimate of what it's going to cost to replace everything, so then we know what we can take from the budget and
Well,
what we
that's kind
need
of what
to.
Chendo's looking at right now, isn't it?
Well,
yeah, and it we kind of get in this roundup. So like, okay, so who decides? Like, this is where you're gonna have to.
Here, the lighting and the trees were donated by the King Postal Company.
They did.
The older man passed away, the younger daughter doesn't really communicate much with anybody, very much. I don't know if anybody knows her or not, but
And I know Worley's gone.
Worley also had donated some, but we can see.
But he's gone.
From anybody that at the club that.
What's the so?
Other business and donate.
But no, but what's the process? Like, who decide? Okay, so if somebody donates, obviously they can buy whatever they want. But so if we were gonna spend city money, whether it's parks or city, on decorations, is it the parks board that approves what they're gonna buy? Is it the city council that approves what they're gonna buy? Like, what's the process?
They would donate the dollar amount to wherever we need.
No, I'm not asking donate. Like, so if they say we want to spend, because they're asking like what?
If we get pricing and say the lighting is like $5,000, they want to donate $5,000, then.
Even 2,500 would probably cover a lot of what we need.
well, but we need to first
Some of
figure
these
out.
lights are like heavy duty, the ones that we had before were heavy duty and they lasted
Yeah.
several years.
Right.
Supposed to buy them every year, which
Mhm.
is.
We can't make assumptions. We need to get pricing.
Right. So, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, okay,
What about,
maybe I'm not asking my question right. So,
what
like,
about
when
as
you-
a suggestion, we first solicit contributions from the public.
I think we need to go to them saying, this is what our plan is. We would like to get donations, going saying, give us
Just
donations
yeah.
without any plan.
Right. So, like, in the
We've got some
catalog,
months
we
to
say,
do that.
we want to buy this nice big picture frame that you can put right here in this park that you're going to stand in front of and take a picture of. And now this costs $3,500, right? Or whatever.
Mhm.
That kind of
It costs
thing.
more than that. But so who would approve what you're going to purchase? Like,
Well, ultimately, it's gotta be city council, I would
Hey, what were you
think.
saying?
Does the money go into the
Yeah.
general fund
Right.
first?
Maybe.
who would approve? So what, when we want to make that proposal, because I agree, we have to figure out what we're going to buy and to get the bit, like to decide what decorations we are going to buy. In my previous life, those had to all be approved by the city council, what decorations we were gonna buy. Whether we're going to buy the nice pretty 3-stack of ornament bulbs that are, giant size, whether it's the big picture frame, because when you say you want pricing of things, there's a catalog of, this big of holiday decoration
Yeah.
to buy. So to say you want pricing of what we're going to replace, that's a big, that can go from A to Z. So my question is it the parks that get to decide, what they're going to buy and, you know what I mean? Does that make
You
question?
could do, present it to the council and say, will you be willing to let the Parks and Rec Board solicit donations? And so we blanket it with the solicit donations to make these purchases. We don't lock it down on the dollar amount.
Yeah.
not what you're
that's kind of
asking,
what
though,
I
right?
was thinking.
No,
She's asking who actually approves whether we get a stack of ornaments or we get a Christmas tree.
I'd say whatever we can.
or like what color?
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
No,
These are great.
no, I think what she's saying,
And
like going through the catalog,
Quite
Who
seriously, our
makes a
trees-
say on what we're picking out?
Yeah, so will the Parks and Rec Board get to decide who picks out? So let's say we say we can solicit. So the council says, yes, they can solicit money. So do we get to decide here, we're gonna solicit money for this?
Probably
and
the
that?
council too, because they're not a part of that selection process and they don't like it. I'd rather blame them for.
I
I'm gonna be honest.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get you.
Yeah, the mayor can send their anything.
Plus, I think it has to.
Possibly it's a group, like we have a
Any money
special
received has to
session.
go into the,
If you guys have.
general fund, I'm
catalog,
sure.
you guys can say, these
And
are
then
the
you
things
guys
that
can
show up. at
have
our park.
a special
You guys
decision to give it to the
council.
parcel out so much of it, by decorations or whatever. Yeah. we'll give you
Is
that.
there a catalog
Donation.
That- that has
Can we
a
do?
set up already?
One conversation under.
Order,
Okay, so my question is there a catalog that already has like a whole display of you're getting all of these items and the whole display to where we can maybe say we like this one, and this one, and then present that to council and then they choose ultimately like what we purchase.
The catalogs are like, I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, it's
6 different sizes of a particular fishing string.
show a picture and it'll say shown here and it'll kind of show you everything. And it'll it'll show you everything a la carte and it'll show you a few things that are kind of already put together. So
Okay.
I'll request a few of those to see if I get them actually in hard copy. I thought I will see if I can get a copy of those and
You're amazing. Thank you.
that's how I did it before, but we're gonna have to and then you guys can kind of see it. They are super expensive, but I mean, we can get one thing every year and it's or we can get a couple, citizens that might want to sponsor a few things and we might be able to pop a few things out, but we just need to do it sooner rather than later because
Yeah.
we're already to March. So tomorrow I will get online and request those catalogs in person and I'll try to see if I can order or request more than one so everyone can have them in their hot little hands. Because when I did them before, I literally had them like, old school Jason.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
I love that.
One thing I can do to help is I took photographs of everything we've got. I will try and put them together into a PowerPoint that I can send you all so you can put through the photos and see what we have, what shape it's in, what you think might be something we want to keep, and how much of it we just want to junk out. And I can get that to everybody in the middle of next week sometime. Okay, so I'd like to get some kind of idea what we need to buy before we make a motion to spend money. We can do it, we can investigate over the next couple of weeks, put it together for next month and say we need to buy this and we need to buy this and we need to buy this, but we don't need to buy a Christmas tree because ours is in good shape and we don't need to buy this, we don't need to buy this. And maybe somebody more talented than I in the creative department, should try and draw out how we want to lay out Christmas decorations and 4th of July event. So we say, well, we got this, we're going to put here, we're going to put here, we're going to put here, we're going to pair. We need this much stuff to do that. It's going to cost X number of dollars, and then we can present it. We're going to have to present it to city council, I assume, and they have to approve it. So how about we table that for till next meeting, and you guys put in some thought on how we want to, look at what we've done before and think how we want to do going forward and what kind of things we have and what kind of things we don't have, so we can make a
All the agenda,
right.
and you also present the council to let them know what our challenges are. And that way they know that it's something
Right.
that they have.
And we can say, look, we've got $7,000 in our budget, and what we want to do is going to cost $11,000 because we have to buy some replacements and clean some things up. Here's what we'd like to do. If you don't like this or you think it's too much money, then you tell us what to pare back. Because when you buy things for a city, you can expect them to cost considerably more than if you went out and bought it yourself because of the process. And if you look at things like window dressing, Macy's, reusable decorations, they cost like Billy hell. So we all look at it that way.
Okay, so I motion to table the Christmas.
We have a motion to table purchasing today. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item on the agenda is I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.